Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? Smash the like button on your way in. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Daily close contest in 4 minutes. We are not going to miss it today. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, what's going on, guys? Drummer said, don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Yeah, make sure you guys smash the like button. It really helps out the channel. Dream Tank said, what's good? What's going on, my friend? Happy Friday. Hope you got a sick weekend ahead of you. Fahid said, third. What's going on, Fahid? Dream Tank said, put some respect on the 3-day Heikanashi candle's name. It's calling everything. I love it. I actually thoroughly dislike the name. If it was named something different, I might not. It just reminds me of, it's such a weeb name. And that has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that the people that I went to high school with that were weebs are, like, losers. I thoroughly enjoy anime. I consider myself something of a weeb. But the people that I'm referring to wear like kimonos and stuff, and they're like white. So maybe it's a subconscious thing. I don't know. Bitcoin 85, 140 and 36 cents. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. Interesting. Wow. That's weird. We've got, do I even put these on there? Yeah, I guess I should. 23 is pretty significant. 84, 391. 84, 391. We've got 83, 563. We've got 82, 433. And do I go lower? No, I guess I'll put this big one. Yeah, that's a lot. 80, 250. Okay. Oh, daily close contest in less than 1 minute. Oh, shoot. Up top, we've got 85, 670. Guys, get your guesses ready for the daily close contest. We're jumping right into it. And the big guy right here, 86,047. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses ready for the daily close contest starting in less than 37 seconds. Bitcoin currently trading at 85, 140 and 64 cents. Cool. Tom Socks Code said the name is terrible. Change it to Freedom Candles. Yeah, I mean, Freedom Candles is just as stupid. Alright. Alright. I'm assuming that's John, Acts 2.21. Ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in for the daily close contest. John said 65k Bitcoin incoming. Let's go lower, please. Sink. I don't really want to go lower. We don't have to go lower. That's fine. Dream Tank said, well, the Weeb 3-day candle is making money. It is what it is, lol. I mean, technically it's not. It's losing money. That's, the price goes down, people lose money. Does that make sense? Like, the candle turns red because it's losing money. There's no such thing as gaslighting, guys. Remember that. Drummer coming in with 85, 369. I got you, Drummer. Tom Selleck's Goat coming in with 85, 150. Anybody else? Anybody at all? Drummer, don't be ashamed. It happens to everyone. Bitcoin 85, 114 and 50 cents. Tom Selleck's Goat said, yeah, how about we don't go lower? That'd be great. I couldn't agree more. Going lower just doesn't make sense. If we start saying stuff like that, then it'll for sure be true and realistic. Giovanni Fontes coming in with 85, 221. 85, 221. Okay. Dream Tank said the 3-day is making money because I sell. Not my fault. Y'all don't follow the candles, so it does make money. Selling doesn't make money. Selling you just keep what you have. My 4-hour makes money too because I used the 4-hour and I made money. The same logic. logical. Anybody else for the daily close contest? Ladies and gentlemen, you got 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Bitcoin currently trading at 85,094 and 1 penny. You guys got any plans for the weekend? I'm going to fix the steering knuckle that I broke on my van last weekend. Which, by the way, not a cheap part. If you want to buy it from, like, anyone official, it's like a $400 part for some reason. I got it from a hillbilly in New York, luckily, for less than $100, which was very exciting. I ordered it the day that mine broke, and it took all week to get here. It arrived yesterday. I didn't tell you guys this. My stepdad texted me because I had it shipped to my mom's, because sometimes their mail gets like put in the wrong mailbox or in the front of the wrong door or whatever. My stepdad texted me. He goes, "Hey Jay, we got your toaster. Your toaster got delivered. Like, just give me a heads up." And I was like, "My toaster?" And then my mom got home and they saw that I was streaming, and they tuned into my stream, and she texted me to mess with me. She goes, "Hey, your crock pot is here," thinking that I was gonna be like, "I ordered a toaster. Why would they send me a crock pot?" And it was neither of those things. It was literally a car part, and it was just in a box that had a toaster on the outside. So the whole time they're looking at this red 4-slice toaster, and my mom is like, "Why would he order a red toaster?" And my stepdad's like, "I'm just surprised he got a 4-slice. So they're like, they're having a whole conversation about this toaster that doesn't exist. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's like one of my favorite news stories for sure. It's definitely a classic. Oh, yeah. Dream Tank said sell equals buying lower prices for the win. Or you could just dollar cost average. Same thing. Less stress, less concern, less worry, less maintenance. I don't have to look at a 3-day whatever Haikanashi candle and then betray my founding fathers and the Constitution. We got 7 people watching, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Less than 1 minute remaining to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Make sure you guys smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Absolute legends, every single one of you. Dream Tank said, so far, I am in the money while everyone holding is not in the money. Why would everyone holding not be in the money? I'm very much in profit. The bear market lasted way longer than this downtrend, and I dollar cost averaged the whole time. So my bags are still quite significantly up, all things considered. 85, 113, and 3 cents, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Thank you everybody for participating. We got 3 entries in the daily close contest. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's get these bad boys up on the board. Makes my job simpler. Thank you guys. We've got 85,369 from Dremmer. We've got Giovanni Fontes with 85,221. What the hell is that? 85,221. Jay Shear said, no, I missed it. Damn it. Damn it. And 85,150 from Tom Selleck's Goat. All right. Jay Shear, try again tomorrow, my friend. Try again tomorrow. Bitcoin currently trading at 85.50 and 2 cents. So far, everyone's gonna lose. Y'all were too bullish. Y'all were just too bullish. I got the country twang stuck in my head now because Philly was talking about the hawk to a girl. Jay Shear said, sup family, let the best man win. Oh, what movie is that? Where oh, it's Lord of the Rings, that's right. Where the chick stabs the guy, and he's like, fool, no mortal man can defeat me. And she takes her helmet off and she's like, I am no man. And he's like, oh, because she has cooties and he's a virgin. That's such a good scene. I love Lord of the Rings. Epic classic tales. Alright guys, we've got 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining on the clock for the daily close contest. Do you guys apply chapstick as frequently as I do? I blame the fact that I've quit smoking. I need some kind of... Sounds a little gay, but I need some kind of oral fixation. And because I'm not gay, I apply chapstick frequently. We should talk about something else. Are you guys buying or selling? What are you guys doing during this downtrend, regardless of what you think it is? 85, 107, and 53 cents. So far, Tom Selleck's Goat is the closest to being a possible victor in this. I do see a potential super short-term time frame triangle, and Tom Selleck's Goat is currently in the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a sudden change of events with just 2 minutes and 56 seconds remaining on the clock. Nope, I'm sorry, 1 minute, 53 seconds remaining on the clock. Tom Selleck's Goat said, I never use chapstick unless snowboarding. Do your lips hurt real bad? My lips hurt real bad. Giovanni said, holding, I have no more dry powder. I have a weird surplus of dry powder. Is that odd? Giovanni said, don't start my new full-time job until next week. That's actually sick, dude. McDonald's called you back? Tom Selleck's Goat back in the lead. 1 minute, 22 seconds remaining on the clock. Oh my gosh, it's going to be really close. Is Tom Selleck's Goat going to be the first recipient of the $300 prize? It's going to be pretty dang close. We've got 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining on the clock. I'm surprised Fahid didn't participate. He showed up, probably smashed the like button. Maybe he's listening in the background while he does stuff. 85, 165, and 50 cents, ladies and gentlemen. 60 seconds remaining on the clock for the daily close contest. What's it going to be? Tom Selleck's Goat, Giovanni Dremmer, or nobody? Nobody at all. What a mystery this is. 85,140 and 1 penny. 153 and 46 cents. Very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the candle that will determine the fate of our winner. 85, 161, 30. What's it going to be? It's very, very close. Very close. 85, 155, 43. The idea of re-entering the labor market terrifies me. I think I would go full entrepreneur if I lost my job for some reason. I think I would be like raking people's yards and shoveling snow, I would go like full handyman or something. Here we go. 12 seconds remaining. 85, 144 and 36 cents. I hear the job market's a nightmare right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, there is no winner for the daily close contest on this day. Everyone was just too bullish. Bitcoin daily close price 85, 129.43, 85, 129.43, 85, 129.43. Congratulations, no one, on your victory. Ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas in the chat for no one. Alright, let's get these bad boys on the board. Dang. So, I wanted to make sure that I streamed the daily close contest so that somebody would have an opportunity to win. I didn't realize that you guys were all permabulls. That's my fault. That's my fault entirely. We should have been watching the 3-day Haikanashi. Why did I just go to the daily? There we go. 4 hour. 4 hour looks good though. I'm excited to get this little bounce for ants. Pretty excited to have the opportunity to sell at like 50% less than break even and not take that opportunity and watch the prices drop even further come Monday. What do you guys think? Are we going to pump, dump, or just chop this weekend? Congratulations, no one. I gotta go copy paste. It's been a while since this. October 20th was the last time this happened. Copy. Were we bearish that day too? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Actually, because of that, I actually win the $300 prize and the $15 prize, which is now a $20 prize, by the way. We've upgraded that because of inflation. And whatever the picture was, and nobody gets to see it ever. Oops, I just clicked something that I didn't want to click. Okay. Get out of here. Don't do that. I don't know what I just did. Alright, you guys got any plans for the weekend? Cool. Alright. I tried to buy more Pokemon cards today, and the vending machine is broken. It was kind of sad. Alright, let's transition back to our regularly scheduled programming. Very cool. Congratulations, nobody. Guys, again, don't forget to smash the like button. Really helps out the channel. Thoroughly appreciate you guys for being here. Let's see. The Bitcoin is continuing its green streak. Very cool. ETH also getting that little baby bounce off of actually some random arbitrary number. I'm curious as to why that's suddenly switched. Tom Salt Scout said, stare at the charts and hopefully don't start my car in my garage. That'd be funny if it was an electric car. That's a good skit. I feel like that's a good skit. Mr. Robert said, what's up, good people? Hey, JJ. Who the F is talking about chapstick? Me. Yeah. You got a problem? We're kind of all over the place. This has turned into like a improv theater stream tonight. Solana also getting the baby bounce. Can we get back above 130-ish area for Sol? I don't know. Honestly, the bounce is nice. The bounce, it's a tiny bounce. But heading into the weekend, it's kind of a bummer because we know it's probably not going to perform well. But who knows? You never know. We've had crazier things happen on the weekend. All we got to do is have like one ridiculously, insanely bullish announcement come out on the weekend, and then the prices can skyrocket, much like the altcoin reserve, the United States altcoin reserve. Which, by the way, what's happening with that? Have we had any updates on that? I don't think so. Tom Selleck Scout said South Park did an episode with Cartman and Butters starting an electric car in the garage. Of course they did, dude. I feel like there's probably so much, like, I haven't watched South Park in God knows how long. I'm so worried now with the oversaturation of comedians and just good jokes, good comedy out there. Not movies, by the way. There hasn't been a good comedy movie in ages. That I would write a joke and I would tell it, and people would be like, that's from something. And I'd be like, oh, shoot, I've never actually watched that. And I would never know, you know? Because I've already done that with music. I play guitar. I'll come up with a riff. I'm like, gosh, this sounds amazing. And then I'll hear it like a month later on the radio. I'm like, what the heck? Crap. This is my stupid riff. Or it's like just close enough to where it sounds very similar and I can't even use. I'm like, shoot, I can't use that anymore. It happens so often. And I'm pretty sure that's like a recurring theme amongst guitar players. Simpsons did it. Yeah, for real. Total 3 is chilling outside of our wedge. So we've seen this happen before a couple of times. We get a little fake out, break out to the downside. Actually, I could probably shift this. Well, I don't know. Do we want to go off the stupid candles? I don't like going off the candlesticks. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like right there. And if we do rebound, I'm going to call this a fake out. If we don't, then this is the initial breakout. Let's see. Waterfly said a bunch of influencers say your reason for crypto downfall. Dang. You know, I was thinking about it earlier today. I'm like, I think you know that you finally made it when you have like dedicated haters. And I was like, dang, I had dedicated haters before I even like got into a position where I could think I finally made it. So I don't know. That was kind of cool. Mr. Robert said, LOL, stop it. Talking about chapstick is akin to saying the word moist or panties, and dudes don't say those words. My fiance can't stand both of those words, which is hilarious. Tishu said, yo, 80K bounce, close enough. That is fair, actually. I'm looking at 800 billion right here as well. It's pretty dang close to where total 3 is. 80K bounce. Who called the 80K bounce? Was it you, Tishu? I feel like someone did. I don't remember. It's all the same. Oh, only the names changed. There you go, Tishu. You're right there. 79K. That's such a good song. I'm totally gonna get. Watch me get copyright strike for saying 3 words. That would be so stupid. John Bon Jovi is like, that kid stole our lyrics. Dang, now he's definitely gonna sue me because I talk crap. Snack struggling a little bit. Ada chilling, also struggling to get back above 42. XRP broke below the lower trend line. H bar actually kind of lingering. H bar has a little area that it could bounce off of this previous resistance. Turn support. Wouldn't that be weird? Waterfly said JJ can't marry fiance panties moist no more. What? Oh, make. I'm assuming that's actually really funny. That's what I got out of that. that's a good one, Waterfly. Dang. Tisha said you always forget. I'm used to it already. How am I'm not gonna remember everyone's. There's literally everyone's on here. Don't be a weenie. We got Justin, Tishu, me, Gourmet Brands Brooklyn, Dream Tanks, you again. Yours was 39K, bro. So get out of here. I always forget. Pepperidge Farm remembers. You guys also, by the way, are the ones who told me I have a goldfish memory. So there's some kind of like subconscious positive affirmation where I've determined to have a goldfish memory. It was yesterday, but the price has changed a lot since then. So I'm on a new wavelength. I was really focused on my my super viral clip that went super viral on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm kind of a celebrity now. 22,000 views. It's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. Don't make a big deal out of it. Guys, stop it. Calm down. It's fine. It's not even that big of a deal. I'm still the most humble guy. I'm been called the most humble. I don't call me that. Other people do. All right. What's nice about Sui right here, I really like this volume. On this, even though it's a dump, the volume does look good. We got a green dot on the momentum wave. We were just incredibly oversold on the RSI as well, at least on the 4-hour. So is it going to get back above 140? We seem to have gotten to bounce around like 132-ish, 133. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Ondo really struggling. What in the world? Volume's down really bad. Price is just taking a poop every second it gets. Arrow. I bought Arrow at 70. I think it was like, if it wasn't here, it was like right here. And it has gone down worse since then. So we'll see if we get a rebound. I feel like it was an educated purchase. Unfortunately, this is the lowest it's gone. Last time it bounced right at 70. Now it's sitting below that. So I probably bought the final touch of 76 before it goes significantly lower, which is incredibly upsetting. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? Pinlink somehow up 17% on the day. Or yesterday it was. Today, it's not doing anything. I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, where did it close? Right here. And then it went up 17%. And I was like, what the heck? So it's one of those, it's become, unfortunately, akin to Fartcoin, where the candles aren't big at all, but it's big moves because the price is so low. And it kind of psychs you out. Render flatlining, also struggling around 170. Can it get some recovery momentum? Stellar actually recovered a little bit nicely. Polkadot down 0.26. Doesn't that ISO thing go live tomorrow? Someone was talking about that. Fartcoin. Ooh, oh my gosh, Fartcoin rejected 29,139. Look at that. Jeez. Is it going to find support at 21.89 though? Looks like it might. Gas also got a nice little bounce. Avalanche. Mr. Robert said, Waters, did your YouTube handle change? Are you still Waters? That is still Waterfly. YouTube apparently changed everyone's handles. So Tishu is still Tishu because no one else is Tishu. Same with Tom Selexcoat. Same with Mr. Robbers. But Waterfly, apparently there are other Waterflies. I don't know if they just defaulted his with the 4439 or what. Dream Tanks TV is unique because there's no other Dream Tanks TV. Dremmer is unique. I think mine is different as well. Maybe. I don't remember. But a bunch of people's changed completely. I think John's is different. His is ACTS 2.21. Fahid is Fahid Hussein 2780. YouTube did that allegedly for like privacy concerns or something like that. For security. To stop impersonations or something. I don't know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If they want the chat to be cool and fun, you know how sick that would be if YouTube integrated like Discord chat. Imagine if you guys could share GIFs in the chat. You know how freaking cool that would be? I think that would be the coolest thing in the world. Because there's been times I've been in other YouTube chats and there's a perfect opportunity. I'm like, ooh, this reminds me of this brilliant meme. You can't upload pictures, which is understandable because, you know, that prevents people from sharing like lewd content. But GIFs, I think, are already like screened by the third party that they upload to. So I don't know. It is what it is. If I worked at YouTube, I would make it so much more cool. Avalanche came down and touched this yellow trend line. This yellow trend line. What if I said CIA flagged me? Yeah, they realized that the 4,438 before you were all legitimate, and you were the false prophet. So this trend line goes all the way back to 2020, and it has consistently marked the bottom for Avalanche. Now that being said, that is, you know, only 3 points of confluence. 1, 2, 3. Is this going to be a fourth? It has already wicked below it, but wicks aren't an issue in my opinion. And I suppose if we do close a daily below that, I would want to close a weekly above it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow and Sunday. Mr. Roberts said, can YouTube not grandfather in the original owner of the name? Waters deserves the right. I'm not sure. I'm also just kind of spitballing about the number. I have no clue because some of you guys are still the same. Some of you guys have like a couple thousand numbers afterwards. I'm kind of guessing. Tom Selexcoat said wicks aren't shit. Tishu said, yep, it's the YouTube handle, which you can change. I've always been Tishu and also named myself Tishu. You can change your name and your YouTube channel customization. Yeah, I changed mine. I just changed my X account recently. It was like my first and middle name for forever. And now it is JJsCrypticCorner, which is exciting. Tishu said also the handle is there in a separate section. Yeah, you have like a screen name and a handle. Okay. So, yeah, Avalanche is at this important level, which I'm not going to lie, I might buy some here. 1331. What's Avalanche's all-time high? Let's just go take a look because I'm a big fan of Avalanche. I think they got a lot of potential in real-world assets and gaming, actually. I think they did a good job staying relevant. Also, they didn't keep too much heat on them. Like, unfortunately with ADA stayed in the top 10, but it's performed very poorly, so it gets a ton of flack. Everyone just craps all over it all the time. And I think that's partially due to it never really losing its position in the top 10. It's just kind of slowly dropped from like top 3 to like number 10. So it's been bad. Avalanche is over 100. Is it really? Oh my God. It is. Holy crap. All right. That's November 1st. So sometime in November. Let's go to the daily, I guess. Can I zoom out enough here? I can. Okay, cool. I'm looking for, I'm going to go to historical. November 21st, 22nd for Avalanche. November 21st, 22nd, CoinMarketCap historical. And that's 2021. Let's go to 2021. I just want to see if they inflated their supply. November 21st, let's go. Avalanche, number 11. 223 million. I'm sorry, 223,837,000. Oh, they did. Okay, so let me do this then. 715. Get ready for some JJ math. We got to do 715 million. 715 74. Let's just go 0 0 0 0. So 715 million divided by the old one was 223,837, 211. Okay, so 3.19. They have 3.19x'd their supply. So in order for them to get back to 128.60, they would need 3 times this. I don't think that's going to happen. So then I want to see what Avalanche at, let's call it 10 billion. Or no, let's just call it 28 billion. I think they could reach their 28 billion again. I'm going to go Tron. So market cap of, and this is me being frugal, so if someone's like, it's going to go so much higher than that, that's fine. That's okay. I'm just planning ahead. Tron. So $60 Avalanche. So at its old all-time high market cap, Avalanche would reach about $60, which to me, a 6x, that's pretty nice. I like that number. All right, let me see. Drimmer said it used to be Foot Lover 69. Dang. John said, JJ, I have 100K to deploy. Should I buy? Oof, 100K. I am not going to advise you on any of that. That is entirely up to you, my friend. You got to weigh the risk reward. Do you think it's going to go lower? If you are going to buy, again, I'm not a financial advisor. If I'm going to speak in terms of me, if I had $100,000 to deploy, I would not touch leverage. I would use JJsCrypticCorner's referral code for Coinbase. No, for real. Let's not joke. Clearly, you have all of those things already set in place. See, I would never deploy the whole thing. I would dollar cost average. If you wanted to, if you feel like we might be bottoming, personally, I don't think we are right now. But if you feel like we are, and that's recency bias coming from me. That is not weighed on anything technical other than recency bias. I would deploy 50% now, and then I would do like 10, 15, 20% chunks until you fully deployed the remaining. That is what I would do. Now, a good way to look at it, now I said mine was recency bias. If I was trying to remove my bias from the situation, Bitcoin typically has 29 to 39% pullbacks in a bull market. If we're going to maintain this uptrend, which it looks like we might, I'm looking at this wick right here. We're already down 32%. We called the 39 was around 75K. So if you want to wait, we're at 32 right now. What's another 75K? What's another 11%? Chewy said, I think I'd rather watch a rerun of Ancient Aliens than look at these charts. Then why are you here, my friend? Just smash the like button? I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Chewy. Drummer said, yep. Tishu said over 100 for AVAX. Yep. That's so crazy. I can't believe it was over 100. Tishu said number go up. I'm gonna say no just because I want it to go up, so I need to say no. I will say though, I'm about to ruin it right now. I apologize. I'm so sorry. The fractal looks good, guys. The fractal looks so good. I just realized the other day, I think you guys were here, that I can buy a cardboard cutout of Lord Farquaad. I think I'm gonna buy one. I think I'm gonna just put it right here. He's gonna be right behind me. Nodding in approval. He's gonna be right behind me, like smiling approvingly. Billy gave me a link to Watcher Guru. I probably have that for the news segment already, but Yes, it says Jensen Huang says the whole world would have fallen apart if they missed earnings in Q3. I think he's correct. But is that a good thing? I don't think it is. I don't think, like, we're reaching the point, unfortunately, and it happened rapidly, where Nvidia is almost becoming something of a monopoly for the entire tech sector, which is kind of crazy. And what's even more insane is no one can really compete with them. I think AMD just recently got into the GPU market, and this might be coming from a very bougie, privileged place. The AMD GPUs look ghetto. I'm sorry. I would never buy one. I bought my GPU NVIDIA off of eBay. I like used refurbished junk. I'm totally okay with that. I would not buy a knockoff, in my opinion, GPU. I would never do it. Adam Salem said, will the market ever go up? That's another thing that's different this time around. We're not recovering at all. There's no recovery bounce. Look at this last Bitcoin downtrend. This right here. There was a big fat wick bounce right there. That was beautiful. That huge bounce in this candle, that's crazy. And then we went straight down, and then we got another relief, and then another relief, and that continued up into an uptrend. So there were relief bounces on the way. This right here, bounce, 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 and then it continued, gained a little more momentum, and then that momentum failed. That has not happened this time around. This has been just straight down, which is crazy. That's unheard of for Bitcoin. AMD bought Radeon way back. Yeah. Dude, I used to crap on AMD so bad. I was such a Intel loyalist, and then I wanted to build a PC when I started streaming, and I think it was Bronson. He was like, dude, don't be a brand loyalist to Intel. It's just expensive junk. And I built an AMD system with an AMD CPU and NVIDIA GPU, and I literally went as cheap as possible, and I couldn't be happier. I will never buy a console again unless it's like a Nintendo Switch, because that one actually justifies itself. The other two are just computers with like proprietary software that make it so you can't do computer things on them. Okay, ATI, I mean. It used to be ATI Radeon. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be, I don't know, thinking of it from like a childish point of view. I feel like AMD is more fun. Intel, I would want to build an Intel rig if I was like a doctor and I needed my computer for like doctor things. Does that make sense? Mr. Robert said all my GPUs are AMD. Okay. I'm more than willing to admit that my distaste for AMD GPUs is purely cosmetic and childish. Chewy said, I think we all quit at the same time. Like we should or we did. Adam said, should we sell? That's up to you, man. You gotta measure your own risk reward. You know, everyone's different. Risk tolerance, all that stuff. Personally, I'm just holding at this point. The downside risk, in my opinion, stops at 0. Upside is infinite, which is a dangerous point of view to have if you're overexposed. So, Tom Salkscoat said Gemini 3 is built on Google TPUs. What is TPU? I'm assuming you meant to say GPU. And I think that's spooking the market that NVIDIA won't be needed. Ooh, that's a good one. Chewy said, when you coming back, bro? Who? Me? Where? Tishu said, and before that ATI rage. Mr. Robert said, all my GPUs are AMD. Tom Selleck said, bro, your computer is dog shit. That rugs all the time. You should have spent more than $50 on it. I mean, I crowdfunded. You guys helped me pay for it because I was poor. Tishu said AMD dominates the iGPU sector. Tom Selleck, it really isn't my computer. It is my ISP. It is probably my hardware, though. My hardware for my internet is incredibly outdated. Tisha said AMD dominates. Yep, I read that. Adam Salem said when Bitcoin goes up, it's going to surge up a ton. I agree. Tom Salkscoat said no, it's built on all TPUs. Oh, tensor processing. Okay, I stand corrected. TPU does sound pretty cool. Tensor processing unit. Sounds fancy. All right, guys. Let me go to silver. I feel like silver is important. Let's do Avalanche. Oof. Weekly looks like doo-doo. Oh, yeah, but Avalanche is at that really important level, which I really, really like. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Chainlink. It's in between a range of 1150 and 1239. Tom Salk's Goat said, I'm aware it's your ISP, but it's way more fun to blame your computer. I don't think it's fun at all. It's not funny. Tishu said AMD has the best APUs. You guys are just trolling me now. You guys are just saying letters. Mr. Robert said, I'm holding two. I did take profit on the way up, but I also bought more over 100K. If I need to wait out that portion a couple years, I'm good. That's my thing. That is my thing too. I am of the belief that if we are entering a prolonged 12-month bear market, then altcoins are going to disappear. They're going to die. There's going to be no need for altcoins. They're going to be a complete waste of time, a scam. It's done. Why would anyone in their right mind invest in altcoins when Bitcoin actually outperformed them this time around and will probably continue to outperform them afterwards if we genuinely enter a 12-month prolonged bear market without alts having performed at all? You know what I mean? It's not worth the risk at that point. But that's just my opinion. Where was it going with this? I don't remember. I'm holding out hope that my 2026 theory is correct. And I say the word hope just because there's no way to know for sure. But I'm confident enough to not sell, to not want to sell, and to continue to dollar cost average. So when structure breaks its typical situation, then we can talk. And if you try to convince me that one structure broke, I don't care. That's not the structure that I'm looking at. The structure that I'm looking at is Bitcoin's typical pullbacks during a bull market, and the fact that altcoins haven't performed, none of the signals flared up, anything, none of the typical bull market stuff happened. So if you try to say that we're entering a typical bear market for these typical reasons, typically you're going to be wrong. Because we didn't top typically, so why are we going to enter a bear market the same way? It just doesn't make sense from any way you look at it. Should we said Linea, the coin? Let's go take a look at it. Let me look at silver really quick. Down 1.29%. It still looks like it's forming this thing. This big, beautiful thing. Silver looks like it's going to do one of these. Whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Can you draw the line from somewhere? Who knows? Is that bearish? That might be bearish. Longer term bearish. Gold. Tishu said AMD has the best APUs. Nope, we not. Use Google more. Or your I mean, what am I going to randomly Google stuff that I don't know? I actually do that all the time. That was a stupid thing to say. All right. I don't know. See, this looks... I kind of like this. Gold actually looks sick right here. I'm going to be the dummy that buys the gold top. Silver's going to outperform. And everything's going to go up. Reese said, my alts performed. I got a 3,000% gain with XCN and like 1,000 with SWFTC and then 7X on Zebek. Yeah, dude, you legit like called some bangers. You got to join the Discord, man. You got to throw us a bone every now and then, Reese. We got to get on DayZ, man. Me and the fiance are... Where are we? I don't remember. We're like slowly working our way inland. DM me on Discord. We'll probably play tonight. Fun time for sure. Plus, we got those videos that we made were funny as hell, dude. We all kind of just stopped playing. We got to get Drew back on too. So yeah, silver and gold look interesting. DXY oddly trending up. The DXY trending up seems to be happening at the same time that every market is getting shaken up and struggling a little bit. I want to try Ark Survival. I played that very briefly like 5+ years ago. It was a lot of fun. Rust. Rust is another one that we should try. Rust is huge community for Rust. Yeah, we should just start playing survival games, man. That'd be fun. Tom Selleck Scout said gold is a store of value and safe haven. Silver relies on good economy because it's actually used for stuff, hence silver will bomb and gold will be good. Mr. Roberts said, LOL, that is literally what Google is for, looking up shit we don't know. Yeah, I know. That's why I said it was a stupid thing to say. Tom Selleck Scout said Japan carry trade. Yes, Japan is interesting right now. Tishu said, you do know that the Xbox since the one model in PS4 and PS5 have AMD APUs, right? Right. See, that's the worst thing to say to me because I hate consoles. I used to be a console guy, just for contrarian's sake. Tom Selleck Scott said Google is for porn. Tom Selleck Scott's the one that looks up, like, he Googles like nice boobs and then he clicks on the images tab. Billy said, JJ, are you still confident in your 2 sets of ETH Soul Link bottoms? Oh, probably. Hang on. I got strategy still continuing to take it down, but sitting at 172 below 200 looks like crap. NASDAQ got a little baby bounce today, up 0.88, and S&P 500 also got a baby bounce. Let's see if the S&P fractal ends up looking good on Monday. I think we're actually in a good spot for the S&P 500. And let me also check this Linea for Chewy. Thank you for being patient, Chewy. I apologize for taking so long to get through all that crap. Linea I've heard of. I think Flexa's mentioned it a couple of times. I don't know much about it. Is this when it launched? Let me look up Linea over here. Linea. Tom Selleck Code. Waterfly said I clicked to torn. Tom Selleck Code said no. I put in famous celebrities' names and nude, then I click on images. Like Pamela Anderson. All the old school ones. Who's the one brunette chick? Oh shoot. Carmen Electra. That's who it is. Wasn't she was in the movie that made fun of the X-Men movie. She played Mystique and it was freaking hilarious. Tishu said the Steam Machine is a PC. Also AMD APU. So AMD is relevant in the GPU sector. Okay, that's fair. I'm not saying they're irrelevant. I also specified that my distaste for their GPUs comes from a purely immature place. So leave me alone. So Linea did launch in September. It looks like. So this is a relevant chart. It looks like it's gone down only. You got a bunch of green dots. I guess what I like about this, without getting too deep into the politics of it, I like that the market cipher chart is leaning entirely bearish because that leaves a ton of room for upside later. What I don't like is that it's just been that way the entire time since like inception, which is mildly concerning. So you got this little uptrend guy right here, which broke down, and then you got this little downtrend right here. Is it going to break up? I don't know. Downtrends usually do break up. This is a prolonged downtrend for sure. It's a channel. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Jay Shear said I'd hop on Daisy. Jay Shear, DM me on Discord. I'll give you the server. I'll let you know where we're at. We can all, like, voice chat and play. It's so much fun, dude. It is so much fun. There's a learning curve if you've never played. Mr. Roberts said, teach you with the console facts. I love that we are all nerds. What did I get called a nerd for the other day? Oh, because I know how to use OBS. That kind of cracked me up. I tried to buy more Pokemon cards today, but the vending machine was broken. I think I told you guys that already. I was excited to say it again, apparently. Chewy said, keep an eye on it. Okay. What are we getting rid of? I'll put it on the watch list. Farcoin? Should we get rid of Farcoin or Render? I'm going to get rid of Render. Is that messed up? Tisha said Nvidia made a deal with Intel a few months ago, so it could get interesting if they develop anything. That would be interesting. Mr. Raver said, Goat, you think the Bank of Japan will raise interest rates in December? I'm going to look into it more this weekend. So what's really interesting about that whole thing is one of the more prominent traders that I've known in my lifetime, his name is Anime. Chewy knows him. A couple of you other guys might know him as well. Chewy, I know for sure knows him. He's like a god when it comes to trading. And I'm not joking or exaggerating. This dude is like a genius. And he trades assets like the Japanese yen and like the Bank of Japan, like just like weird tokenized stuff that's like only available in certain regions. And he like I'm pretty sure he just VPNs and he hops around via his VPN and he trades all this stuff through Binance. It's pretty sick, actually. And dude, he makes bank, dude. It's crazy. He's like the coolest dude too. He's super chill. I hope he's still around. He's a cool guy. I like him. I enjoy him. I enjoy his company. Bitcoin dominance 5907. What else was I going to look at? Somebody said something. Oh yes, Philly said, "Am I still confident in my 2 sets of ETH Sol and Link bottoms?" All right, so what he's talking about, he's from Malaysia. Yeah. Yep. All right, what Philly is talking about is my Haven't seen him in a while. I saw him not so recently, but it wasn't that long ago. So my guesses for highs and lows for if we're entering proper bear market, not financial advice. For Bitcoin, my high bottom was 90K. My low bottom is 69K, which happens to be previous bull market's top. For ETH, it's 2K for high and low is 1.5. BNB 600 for high, low 300. XRP $1.50 for high, low $1.75. I'm sorry, 75 cents. And Solana $100 high, $50 low. I did not have Link. Billy said ETH, Sol, and Link. I had ETH and Sol on there. For Link, I really don't know where Link could go because it's not really like these are all like top 10 assets that performed really well. Link would be a different one. Link would be a weird one for me to do because I don't know. It's less optimistic, I think, just because of the way the price performed if we are entering a bear market. Waterfly said I have Bitcoin at 65. A lot of people do. Tishu said Bitcoin is going to 39K. You guys are all crazy. All right, let's go news segment. What about ADA? I don't want to talk about ADA, Chewy. Get out of here. Ban that guy in the chat. All right. ADA did not hit an all-time high, so it's not in my list of predictions. Cheers. Happy Friday, guys. Damn, it's cold. Son of a bitch. All right. Watcher Guru posted. X starts rolling out account country labels disclosing where users are based. That was interesting. $300 million liquidated from the crypto market in the past 15 minutes. That was 17 hours ago. Waterfly said 8 to 16 cents. Dude, Waterfly, if it drops below its bear market low, I'm probably peacing out. I don't want to be a weenie, but if it's going to somehow underperform its bear market price action, then I'm probably not going to hold on to it. Tisha said, what about the coins that are close or at bear market low going to zero? I think so, honestly. And that's strictly based on the concept of us entering a proper 12-month long typical cryptocurrency bear market. Ada Ace said, yo, what's going on, Ada? His good timing. I was just talking crap about the Ada price. What if I said Charles is a fool? I disagree. He does foolish things. I don't think he's a fool, though. I think he's a very smart fella. And, I don't know. I'm not going to politicize it. Like I said, he does stupid things, but everybody does. It's definitely been a negative sentiment market for sure. So people are feeling it, Mr. Krabs. That is for damn sure. Grimmy Brands Brooklyn said, what up, guys? Another fun day. Absolutely, I agree. Let's continue our news segment. We got 1 billion liquidated from the crypto market in the past 60 minutes. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang says the whole world would have fallen apart if they missed earnings in Q3. That's kind of a crazy, cocky thing to say. I'm not going to lie. Tom Self-Scott says Solana on the weekly. Oof. Jim Cramer says lots of good elements are lining up for a rally. Look at that smug face. He knows what he's doing. What if Jim Cramer is Satoshi? You know how pissed people would be? Tisha said so. It's over for Dot and Adam. Adam definitely, unless Adam is this market's Solana, because Solana, it was over for Solana already, and we all know how that turned out. Because FTX like took advantage of Solana and just destroyed it, the chain, the reputation, everything about it, and then it blew up and it became the #1 place for meme coin gambling casino. So maybe that's going to happen with Adam. The only thing I see with Adam being problematic is the October 10th crash resulted in the price literally going to zero, and one, I don't know if it's an individual or an entity, purchased 30% of the supply. So Mr. Robert said, I just peed in my house sump pump hole. We all do stupid things. Interesting. Hopefully your urine is not acidic. Trump administration considers selling NVIDIA H200 chips to China. That's cool. I'm not sure why it's their choice, but that's cool. Coinbase and Circle are buying. Would you look at that? USDC, USDT, Soul Pump Alert, Circle Treasury, Wintermute, Binance. So there's a lot of purchase alerts happening for Coinbase and Circle. Marty Carty posted, the show goes on, people. This is warrior mode. It's our world. We're taking it back. They will fight like dogs. The Federal Reserve has made comments today via New York Fed President John Williams, a voting member of the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC. In prepared remarks delivered on November 21st, 2025, Williams stated that the Fed can still cut interest rates in the near term without jeopardizing its 2% inflation target, citing anchored inflation expectations, slowing GDP growth in the second half of 2025, and a softening labor market. This dovish signal prompted a sharp market reaction, with the probability of a December 25 basis point rate cut jumping from around 39% to over 70% on the CME Fed Watch tool, and stocks rebounding more than 1%. Interesting. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said it's all pipes. I build houses, I'm aware. Is that what you're talking about? Tom Stokes Code said interest rates gonna be cuz in December market. Ada Ace said, read my article. What article you got, Ada Ace? Ada Ace. Article from Ada Ace. Ada Ace article. Where do I find the article from Ada Ace? Do you want to DM it to me on X? Yeah, DM it to me on X, Ada Ace. I'll check it out. Okay. There was a stablecoin flow to market makers Cumberland and Abraxas. Also, Circle minted 500 million USDC on Solana. He said link in chat. It's not showing up for me. YouTube filtered it out. This is what I see. Live chat. No article link. So YouTube probably shows you that it sent it, but it didn't actually send it. Probably flagged it. So yeah, just DM me on X. Pull it up. Stablecoin mint Circle mints 240 million USDC on Ethereum. Very cool. Link in chat equals wallet drain. No, Ada Ace is a nice guy. Waterfly is such a pessimist, man. It's Friday. You need a chai latte, Waterfly. Grab yourself a chai latte. You could put a little bit of, maybe spike some eggnog in there or something. Reese said got some nice volume coming into the market. I agree. It's about, look at this. First time in forever. Beautiful little spike in volume. The crypto gods are smiling upon us because we didn't sell like pussy. Or we did because we took profit, which is also okay. But we didn't sell because we were scared little weenies. What if I said I need a nap? I'm thinking about a dad bath. Which is very manly. There's no candles involved, no bath bomb. You're just a man taking a bath. There's nothing feminine about it. Ada Ace said I'm driving. Great. We're like, text on your phone, send me a link on X, and like do all this complicated stuff. He's like, I'm trying to freaking drive, man. Marty Party posted NVIDIA versus Bitcoin since April. Note, all chart patterns turned on NVIDIA. Kobayashi later posted another macro headwind to watch. Japanese government bond yields are moving in a straight line higher. Since news emerged that Japan is considering launching 110 billion in stimulus, their 40-year government bond yield has surged to a record 3.77%. Japan's story has nothing to do with AI. It's a reminder of where the US is heading if we do not resolve our deficit spending crisis. Don't stop talking about deficit spending. It is that I posted the Medium article link via my Hydro Drip project. Okay, I got it. Hydro Drip. I did not know that was you, though. That's actually pretty sick. Okay, Hydro Drip, October 19th, 1 hour ago. Medium article I just published. Cardano didn't flinch. How the most resilient blockchain just proved it again. Oh, yeah, there was a malicious scenario that unfolded on Cardano. Good lord. Does Medium have dark mode? How do I... Nope, I just have to suffer through it. All right, I'll read this after the news segment. Let's see. Reset, it took profit at the top, still holding 30 million Zevek. Nice. Tom Salkscoat said, isn't that a man bath, not a dad bath? Like, can those without kids not have baths? I think a man bath is different. A dad bath is a man bath, but you have kids. Like, you're just a father. A man bath, I suppose, by itself could be more manly. I think a man bath would probably involve beer. Whereas, like, a dad bath, you're just trying to relax. I don't know. They both sound weird now. You ruined it. Tom Selleck's John Tujo said, careful with those baths. My buddy was taking baths and eating yogurt too much and got a yeast infection in his ass. Oh my God. That's messed up, man. I don't know what to say to that. I don't eat too much yogurt. That's terrifying. Reese said, when you have a bath, you're in. See, everyone says that when you have a bath, you're in your own filth. But why are you that dirty getting into the bath? Did you not, like, do you not bathe yourself every day? Do you not shower every day? If you shower every day and you take a bath, the water should not change color. If the water's like turning a different shade, then you're too dirty for a bath. You need to take a shower. You know, and as an adult man, I think you're capable of making that decision. Tisha said, look at this chart. It's at support. Camel.com. Okay. I'm going to risk it. We're doing it. Okay. I was scared for a second. I was like, what is this? Son of a bitch, he did it. Okay. What is that, actually? I'm kind of interested. External 2 terabyte. That's actually pretty cheap. All right. Amazon price history. Is this what we're supposed to be looking at? Look at this chart. It's at support. For Amazon? What am I looking at? I'm so confused. There's a chart for this Lexar 2 terabyte external solid state drive. It is pretty cheap, though. Okay. I might have to buy one. Mr. Robert said, I'm literally laughing out loud right now. Price history. Ada Ace said, I rinse off after soaking in bathtub. Hard day's labor, really sore. Soak Epsom salt bath. Let's go. Dude, Epsom salt bath. You do all the drugs in the world. None of it feels like an Epsom salt bath. I'm just saying. Real men know. Real men know. Thank you, Ada Ace. Backing me up. We'll have to DM each other some bath. That's such a stupid joke. All right. Reese said, imagine going to the public swimming pool and chilling in the enema water. I mean, like, community pools are nasty too. Okay. John said, you have to shower after. That's completely normal. Mr. Robert said, I'm literally laughing out loud. Reese said, Zebek pumping hard. I feel like we're getting so distracted. All right. I do want to order that external hard drive. I'm not even joking. That's so stupid cheap. All right. NVIDIA versus Bitcoin since April. Note all chart patterns turned on NVIDIA. It's definitely an interesting observation. Is Nvidia going to break down like Bitcoin did? They're lined up though, so I don't know. Maybe Nvidia's recovery will result in a Bitcoin recovery as well. Kobe, see you later. Another macro headwind to watch. Japanese government bond yields are moving in a straight line. Yep, we read that. Blah, blah, blah. Don't stop talking about deficit spending. Keep watching sentiment. The S&P 500 is down 5% from its record high, and bubble callers are in full swing. Again, the S&P 500 averages 4 declines of 5% or more per year. AI bubble callers, who have been bearish of the S&P 500 for the last 40+% of upside, are now running victory laps. Even if the S&P 500 doubled its current decline since its peak, we are still well within the definition of a normal technical correction. All is well, and all as Nvidia is now running annualized revenue of 200+ billion with a forward P over E. I don't know what that means. That is lower than Walmart. What is that? Profit over expense. If you are bullish on AI, market correction should be welcomed as opportunities to buy quality names. The bigger picture is unchanged. Let's freaking go. All right, let's read this article. Cardano, I guess brace yourselves for some bright. Can I go to anything? No, none of these are bright. I guess just brace yourselves. It's going to be a white screen. So, okay. On November 20th through the 21st, 2025, Cardano faced its most serious technical challenge in years, an obscure transaction. Handcrafted with a malformed delegation certificate, triggered a chain split, first on testnet, then on mainnet. In most blockchain ecosystems, this would have led to chaos, halted block productions, slashed validators, central coordination, or worst, lost user funds. But Cardano didn't flinch. Blocks kept rolling, stake pool operators, SPOs, coordinated globally, which was sick. I think I'm going to make a video about that. The three core development entities, IOG, Intersect, and the Cardano Foundation, joined forces in a unified response, and within hours the issue was resolved without a single second of downtime. This wasn't just a fix, it was a proof point for everything Cardano has spent years building, a resilient, decentralized, and mission-focused blockchain that can defend itself in production, under attack, and without centralized control. The attack, a subtle bug turned live exploit. On November 20th, a malformed delegation transaction hit Cardano's preview testnet. It carried a hash that exceeded expected length, bypassing validation checks in newer node versions. Some nodes accepted it, others didn't. The chain diverged. That's when the community responded. An incident response. It was getting too epic in my head. An incident response team from Intersect, IOG, and the Cardano Foundation assembled immediately. Within hours, a patch was developed. They knew what was coming next. On November 21st, the same exploit was deployed on mainnet. The result, a chain fork, two competing chain histories emerged, one including the invalid transaction, the other rejecting it. What makes Cardano different? In other ecosystems, this would be catastrophic. Validators might panic or halt production. Governance votes could take days to fix consensus. User funds might be lost. Centralized recovery plans would need to be drafted. But Cardano is not other chains. Here's what happened instead. The network never stopped producing blocks. Node updates, version 1.5.2, version 10.5.3, 10.5.2, 10.5.3, were released within hours. SPOs upgraded globally, self-organized without needing a central coordinator. The Cardano Foundation, Input, Output, Global, and Intersect set aside all lines and worked as one. No user funds were affected, zero ADA lost. This was real decentralization, operating under pressure and thriving. There was zero downtime. No downtime, no losses, still undefeated. Cardano stake pool operators aren't idle spectators. They are active participants in the health of the chain. When the fork was detected, community leaders organized upgrade campaigns on Telegram, Discord, and X. Tech support guides were translated and shared across time zones. Smaller operators followed the lead of seasoned stake pool operators, not from a place of hierarchy, but of shared purpose. The network, through pure community coordination, merged back to the healthy chain. The bad fork was abandoned, the issue was patched, and the Cardano moved forward stronger than before. Let's be clear, Cardano has never experienced a single second of downtime in its 8-year history. Let's freaking go. All right, Bitcoin, 84,760. It's going down a little bit. Let me catch up on the chat really quick. I'll let you guys watch this while I catch up on the chat. Mr. Robert said, well, speaking of bath salts, I'm going to the shed to check the generator. Be right back. The generator. I'm starting to picture Mr. Roberts living in the woods. He has no electricity, and he uses a generator for electricity. I'm wondering if that's what it is. He's a woodsman. The generator, so he powers on the generator at night for lights, heat, or air conditioning, and he gets to use the internet while it's on. Then before he goes to bed, he shuts it off. That reminds me of Darkwood, which is a sick top-down horror game. If you've never played it, atmospheric, very cool game. Tishu said, you never heard of Camel before? Dude, if you want to buy cheap on Amazon or not overpay, it's a great tool. That's fair. I'll check it out. I just thought of cigarettes when I saw it. Tom Selleck goes dead. Ah! I felt it, man. That's why I got the sunglasses. Plus the freaking ring light so you guys can see my beautiful face. Like, destroys my eyeballs and gives me a headache. Tishu said, JJ, if you were trying to guess my age range based on my typing and communication behavior, what would be your best guess? Based on your typing and communication behavior? Based on everything I know about you, Tishu, I think that you are a very mature and sophisticated 25-year-old. Maybe 28. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, PE, price to earnings ratio. Okay, so it's like, what did I say before? Profit over earnings. It's similar, price to earnings ratio. Okay. Reese said, SWFTV went up 50%. Damn. Tishu 13. Waterfly said Charles is stupid and killing Ada. I think he's like leaving, so you don't have to worry about it. Waterfly. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, did Swift go up on the ISO going live tomorrow? Tishu said, Reese, LOL, I hope you're trolling. Reese said, Zebek is ISO compliant too, and SWFTC, not sure, but it's pumping. Jas said, yo, I'm assuming that's just have fun, whose name changed thanks to YouTube. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, I made a nice bag on ZBCN on the first run-up months ago, but 30mm is a nice bag too. Reese said, Zebek and Jasmine, best real-world use case in the sector. Yeah, I had 57 million, but sold at 005. I don't like Jasmine. I haven't seen a single thing from Jasmine that makes me compelled to buy. Zebek, I've heard good things about. That one actually seems like a legitimate project. Jasmine left a bad taste in my mouth last bull market, and my brain won't allow me to overlook that. Tishu said, I keep receiving phishing texts. Coinbase, your withdrawal code is blah, blah, blah. This wasn't you. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I've been getting calls nonstop. It started like a week ago, and it has been nonstop every single day, these spam calls. And today I got one twice within 1 minute, and I was like, that's weird. I assumed it was a guy coming to look at the machine that I have for sale. I call him back, and it just starts speaking Chinese. Never happened to me before. I was like, what the hell? It was so weird. Gourmet Brand said, nice sell. WF Capital Reese said, it's ran by all the guys from Sony, don't sleep. I see, that's what I think bugs me. It just kind of seems like they built like a team with like good names to like pump up the price, and then they pieced out. I don't like the chart. And again, I could be wrong. And my brain is just not willing to allow me to overlook that. Okay, so they got some price action. It's just this. It really doesn't look that bad. But going from this all the way down to here, that's a no-go for me. And this is great. It seems like maybe they just launched too early, if they are a legitimate project. This is on the weekly too. But yeah, I don't know. It's unavoidable. My brain works the way that it does. It's Japan. They don't release lots of info. Japan's culture is more quiet. That chart went down because last Rubin, they release all tokens. Yeah. Tishu said, unknown callers, I don't answer them unless they send a message first, or I'm expecting a call from an unknown number. That's what I actually like to answer them. So I've got this running joke, and I've been building a list of jokes to hopefully eventually grow enough of a pair of balls to do stand-up. And one of the jokes is actually going to be this. The robocalls where they record your voice and then they duplicate it via AI and they call a family member of yours to try and get money and like posing as you. I'm answering the phone with a stupid voice in hopes that they're doing that. So I answer the phone sounding like Kermit the Frog. I'm like, hello? And then eventually I'm hoping that they're going to use that to create an AI JJ, and then they're going to call my mom, and my mom's going to be like, hello? And then it's going to be like, hello, Mom. I need help. I need you to send me money. Which is the best case scenario. I really need that to happen. So, yeah. Reese said, there is no more tokens to be released. Need to do a deep dive. Price was $5 when it had zero of the supply. Outlast run, they released 99% and it tanked. 2030, you will be surprised when I buy my island and mega yacht. If you do that, then Reese, you can super chat me $1,000 and I will have to take my hat off and show the entire stream my bald head. And that'll be my humiliation for missing Jasmine. That is an actual thing. If you guys are ever curious, I am bald. And the only way the hat's coming off is if we reach out $1,000 total donations within one stream. So it can be a bunch of you guys adding up to $1,000. John said, you must be smoking before the live. What am I? For what? What did I do? Oh, because of the robocall joke. It's a good joke. Reese said, can we get a quick glimpse of Jasmine? I just looked at it. Oh, of the hat? No. Under the hat? No. Although I can do this, which I think is really funny. If I do this, and then I'm like, oh, the hat's off, and then I put the hat on, and you guys never saw anything, but the hat was off. Mm-hmm. It's like a peep show, but for bald people. Okay. Japan says their stimulus package will have an overall economic impact of $265 billion. The Japanese yen just fell to its weakest level against the US dollar since January 2025. Pandemic-like stimulus is on its way. Let's freaking go. Money printer, go burr. Breaking, Japan's government says it may intervene before the Japanese yen to US dollar reaches 160. Over the last 2 months, the yen has gone from 145 to 157 as 110 billion plus stimulus packages coming. We are 2% away from intervention. I do thoroughly enjoy the idea that they can just intervene. They're like, listen, here's the chart. This is something that we can't control. It's just natural. This is like the valuation. And then they're like, but if it gets really bad, we are going to intervene. We're just going to come in and change the data. It's fine. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, I got 10, 12 spam calls a day. My IT upgraded his iPhone to ISO 26. What? It's the one after ISO 18. Not sure why they skipped so many numbers, but said there's a new feature to block those calls. Money gets 0 calls. I don't understand. Reese said it can't be that bad. Oh, it's just bald. It's not good or bad. It's just a bald head. But I'm monetizing it, so because I can. Why not? You know. I don't sell feet pics, so going with the bald head. That's the last fun like fundraising thing that I have. We did the computer thing. What else did we do? There was one for maybe, I think it was a 12-hour stream, the first 12-hour stream, and then the bald head is the last remaining one. Once the bald head is done, we'll make new goals for more fun random crap. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin position is almost red. I'm gonna plan some 12-hour streams too, for sure, because those are fun. Bitcoin just extended its decline to a low of 80,500, just 6,067 away from MicroStrategy's average entry of 74,433. This puts Bitcoin 8% away from MicroStrategy's position, turning negative. Just 46 days ago, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin position was up 70%. The stock MSTR is now down 70% from its record high. Can Saylor keep buying? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Tishu said, yo, go to Google and search bald JJ's Cryptic Corner. Look at the AI overview, LOL. I'll screenshot it if you don't get the same thing. Reese said, can we crowdfund you a toupee? Oh, for sure, dude. I think that would be freaking hilarious. Dude, crowdfunded toupee. Let's do it. I'm down. You guys get to pick. It can be the ugliest piece of shit you've ever seen. That would be really funny. Gotta get a wig for stream. Damn. Dude, that's actually a really good idea. That could be like my thing. The wig guy. Reese just figured out how to like double monetize the head. That's so funny. Okay, so I gotta Google. What if I said maybe she doesn't get moist anymore because of bald? That's actually a meme. The meme is that bald guys make love better. So, Cornberries Brooklyn said my IT guy SB and not money gets 0 spam calls now. Oh, ooh, okay, nice. Reset bright orange Gingy. I forgot about that, man. I forgot about that. All right, Tishu said Google bald JJsCrypticCorner. Dude, no joke. I Google myself like once a year just to see what pops up. I get nothing. I told you guys I get those calls from that guy. Bald JJsCrypticCorner. Go to images. Oh shoot. Oh man, why is Pete Davidson there? I'm not a fan of this guy. Let's see, which one is the closest? These are all like, see, I would have to like razor shave my head in order to look like any of this. Lance Reddick, what is he from? Is that the guy? Yeah, this is the guy from The Wire, yeah. Oh, I'm getting a spam call. It's happening live. This is the thing. Am I answering? I'm answering it. Hello? It says crypto.com. It was crypto.com. It was a crypto.com scam. Whoa, dude, they're listening. They're listening to us. What did Teach Juice sent that call? There's no way. He works for them. He works for the scam call people. I didn't say images, regular search, and look at AI overview. Oh, okay, my bad, my bad. I mean, images seems like more fun. Regular search. Okay, hold on. Regular search AI overview. There's no AI overview. There's J&J liquidation store. Oh, that's I was kind of excited. I was like, oh, I'm someone's favorite guy. Off the grid. There's no AI overview. Yeah, you're gonna have to screenshot it. All right, we're all over the place, man. Click all and read the description from AI. Yeah, it didn't do that for some reason. Breaking Michael Saylor responds to the MSC1 index situation. MicroStrategy is not a fund, not a trust, not a holding company. We're a publicly traded operating company with a $500 million software business and a unique treasury strategy that uses Bitcoin as productive capital, he says. This comes after MSCI launched a formal consultation on how to classify digital asset treasury companies, DATs. MSCI, I think, views such companies as more similar to investment funds rather than traditional operating businesses. Why is this important? Investment funds and trusts ineligible for their flagship equity benchmark like the MSCI USA Index and MSCI World Index. If MSCI and others rule that MicroStrategy is in fact an investment fund or a trust, the resulting exclusion would be market moving. MicroStrategy is now down 70% from its high. Interesting. That's actually kind of messed up. Mr. Roberts said, I can't help but think that even as the market throws a fit, we are on the eve of an official end of quantitative tightening. I have to bet on a Christmas rally with that lining up this year. Cornman Brands Brooklyn said, I hope you're right. That's where I'm at, man. Everyone's tripping, and they're like, this has never happened before, and it has. Bitcoin does it every single bull market. It feels worse this time around because 39% pullback this time is like couple billion, couple trillion dollars versus last time it was like 60-70% less than that. So it feels way worse now because there's a lot more money in Bitcoin. You should set it. Okay, it's in the Discord. All right, let's check it. This is the AI search results. Bald JJ's Cryptic Corner refers to JJ's Cryptic Corner, a YouTube channel that features a bald dude with a beautiful beard. That's awesome. That's my description. That's so sick. Who discusses cryptocurrency. The phrase Cryptic Corner is likely a play on Crypto Corner and the confusing or cryptic nature of the crypto market. That's kind of what it accidentally turned into. The YouTube channel is dedicated to covering cryptocurrency with live streams covering topics like Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, meme coins, and stocks. Let's freaking go. That's a sick description. I like that. Thank you, Tishu. All right. Investors are selling crypto funds at a record pace. Crypto funds saw 2 billion in outflows last week, the largest since February. This also, which is funny because fear and greed is at the worst since February as well. This also marks the third consecutive weekly sale, bringing the total to 3.2 billion. Bitcoin led the outflows at 1.4 billion, while Ethereum saw 689 million, marking some of their biggest weekly losses this year. As a result, average daily outflows as a percentage of assets under management over the last month have risen to the highest level on record. Combined with price declines, total assets under management have dropped 27% from the October peak to 191 billion. This is a structural decline. Interesting. Mr. Robert said, "Me too, bro." Tisha said, "You're welcome." Yeah, that's a sick one. I'm gonna have to save that. My ego, my humble ego, thoroughly enjoyed that. Absolute insanity. Nvidia has gained 450 billion and lost 600 billion over the last 54 hours. That's a swing of over 1 trillion of market cap, or 19 billion per hour for the last 54 hours straight. These are not fundamental price moves. This is sentiment based, aka paper hands. Mr. Roberts said it doesn't mention dicks for prizes. Come on, Grok, do better. Oh, that was Gemini. And that's why it's bad, because it's the same name as the piss poor exchange made by the Winky Butt twins. Which, by the way, if you guys do use Gemini, be careful. Like, all jokes aside, and my bias, setting my bias aside, they are, or I guess they have not been profitable for quite some time. So exercise caution. I think that they did like partner with the government or something like that. So they probably would get a bailout if something did happen. Just be careful though. Like I had all my money in Voyager once upon a time, and Voyager disappeared. They collapsed just like FTX did. So be careful. The U.S. Labor Department announces that November CPI inflation data will be released on December 18th. The employment situation data for October and November and CPI inflation data are both coming after the Fed meeting. The Fed is in a data blackout still. Mr. Barber said, "For real though, JJ, I'm stoked you're getting the vibe out there." Absolutely, man. I enjoy it. I really do. Cheers, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. Happy Friday. Like I said before, no matter where the market goes, we'll be here. If crypto disappears tomorrow, then we're going to start talking about stocks and commodities. Oh, shoot, man. Maybe we'll like buy a car at an auction and try to flip it or something. No matter what, I think we're going to try to focus it just on money making, and not from a greed perspective, just from a wealth building concept, trying to build for your future. I enjoy it. And it's not that I feel qualified or anything like that. I feel like we're kind of going through the steps together, because I'm also trying to build wealth. So instead of it being like a tutorial, like I know how to do this, it's more of like a come along with me. It's like Dora the Explorer, Dora the Credit Builder. That's I would watch that. It's like the adult version. U.S. Labor Department announces that October CPI inflation report has been canceled. I don't know what the hell this means, why they did that, but that probably has a lot to do with price action being all janky. There's no data out there. I think sentiment is bad because they don't have anything to go off of. When people are uncertain, they get scared and they sell. The market does not like uncertainty. There it is, in the opposite direction. No headlines, no new information, yet the S&P 500 surges 100 points in 50 minutes. That's 800 billion in market cap. But why? Because the herd is now moving the opposite direction. The AI bubble crowd briefly just switched back to maybe AI is the next big thing. This will switch back and forth many more times. These are all mechanical sentiment-based swings. Use fear-based emotion selling to your advantage. Interesting. Percentage decline from record high. Oracle, minus 44. Palantir, minus 30. Meta, minus 27. AMD, minus 27. Tesla, minus 22. Netflix, minus 22. Nvidia, minus 19. Amazon, minus 17. Microsoft, minus 16. And Broadcom, minus 15. Many of the market's largest names have already experienced another bear market. That is true. A bear market in stocks is typically considered 20%. So if Bitcoin is going to be moving more and more like stocks with the ETFs and whatnot, or even if not, even if they're going to kind of mesh together, like Bitcoin's typical pullback is 39 to 40%, stock is 20. If they kind of merge, then we can expect a 40, or I guess it would be 30. It would be a 30% pullback on both ends. So we're above 30 right now from the top, but we're not quite near 39 yet. 39 is like 75K, I think we measured. Yeah, right now we're at 33. Bitcoin currently sitting at 84,799 and 53 cents. I feel like we've been streaming for like 6 hours. We've gone through so many topics. Nuclear power spending is set to surge rapidly in the US. I'm going to do a stock portfolio video, and nuclear is definitely going to be a good portion of that. The US is expected to spend at least $350 billion on nuclear power by 2050. This would boost output from nuclear reactors by 63% over the next 25 years. Furthermore, annual nuclear spending is estimated to surge 10x by 2038 to $25 billion. By 2025, isn't that this year? AI data centers are expected. I think that maybe they meant to put 2035. AI data centers are expected to demand 53 gigawatts of new nuclear capacity and lift the total nuclear fleet to 159 gigawatts. AI is set to drive nuclear energy boom. Very cool. Tishu sent a link. Rich Dad Poor Dad author and Bitcoin bull Robert Kiyosaki sells his Bitcoin. What? Kiyosaki disclosed that he sold his Bitcoin at 90K after he forecast a 250K price target for Bitcoin in 2026 earlier in November. Investor Rich Dad Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki disclosed on Friday that he sold his $2.25 million in Bitcoin and is reinvesting the money into businesses he owns to generate additional cash flow. Interesting. Said he acquired the Bitcoin years ago when it was trading around 6K. What? And sold it at about 90K. The profits from the investment will be funneled into 2 surgery centers and a billboard business, he said. The investment in these businesses is expected to yield $27,500 in tax-free monthly income by February 2026, he estimated. Okay, I mean, that's awesome. I'm still very bullish and optimistic on Bitcoin and will begin acquiring more with my positive cash flow, he said on November 9th. Kiyosaki forecast a Bitcoin price target of $250,000 by 2026. I should put this over here, I guess. And a $27,000 per ounce price target for gold. Whoa, that's crazy. 27K for gold is insane. The announcement came as a surprise to some investors and during the worst drawdown in the current cycle as Bitcoin fell below 85K, briefly tapping 80,537 on Friday before rebounding back above 84. The price at the time of writing. Despair grips investors as some analysts say the start. Okay. Yeah, I think that's actually sick. Props to the guy. That's what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to make a crap ton of money and then you rotate out. Maybe don't sell. I think selling your entire bag is a little crazy, but you know, everyone's got their own method. He wants to sell his entire bag, use it to accumulate $27,500. And guess what? He can then rebuild a bag. It's not the end of the world. So he can either take 90K profit or whatever, 2.25 million profits, or he can watch it piss away and then, you know, he has no investment funds or whatever. It's kind of a no-brainer. That's huge. Mr. Roberts said, building for the future is my favorite me. I like music, me, maybe just as much, and Fix It Me, but I guess Fix It Me also future building me. Anyway, yeah, JJ. If your channel is about improving our situation and putting a solid vibe out, then hell yeah, dude. There was weed next to the generator. Love the shed visits. I love it. I love it, Mr. Barbers. I'm gonna have to play Darkwood on the channel again and show you what I imagine every time you mention the shed and the generator, because you just mentioned the generator today. I don't recall a generator ever being involved. The generator added to the situation has put a picture in my head from this game. And it's a great game. It's super spooky. And it has a generator in a shed. So that's just what I'm reminded of every time you say that. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. We got a ton of news to go through still. Bitcoin 84, 842 and 15 cents. I apologize for the extended news segment, but there's a lot of news coming out. Most people don't realize how big this would be. Just weeks ago, NVIDIA founder Jensen Huang said NVIDIA is 100% out of China. We went from 95% market share to 0. In August, NVIDIA explicitly said they are not assuming any H20 shipments to China in the outlook, let alone H200 sales. In other words, the market has almost entirely priced out NVIDIA's AI chip sales to China, and in this week's earnings call, NVIDIA CFO reasserted their view of how crucial it is for the company to be able to sell to China. Even a partial return would be massive news. Just think about how much money they're making right now with no China, and then add China to the mix. They would probably double their income. That's crazy. Tishu said, if Bitcoin keeps going lower, what is going to happen to the Coinbase Bitcoin lending, Bitcoin loans? That's a good question, actually. I have no clue. I imagine people would either have to pay back almost as if it was margin, or they would have to add to it. Or I think they can get liquidated. So, like, this is what I imagine it is. Let's say I lend you out 100K worth of Bitcoin with a 1-year term, and it's a 10% interest rate. And you put down 200K worth of Bitcoin. Let's say it's over collateralized 200K worth of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin goes to 55K. I believe you would get liquidated. I would get my 100K plus 10%, so 110K, and you would get nothing. You would get nothing back. I believe that is how it would work. But the auto liquidation would auto sell that Bitcoin and give me 110K USDT. I think that's how I'm aware of DeFi loans. And that's why I said 200K Bitcoin worth of Bitcoin, because usually with DeFi, it's way over collateralized so that you can avoid liquidation. But it's kind of like trading 2x leverage almost. It's very similar. All right. NVIDIA's revenue growth is unprecedented. NVIDIA's revenue reached a record $570 billion in fiscal Q3 2026. This is 2.5 times the combined sales of Intel and AMD, totaling to $22.9 billion. At the same time, NVIDIA's net income reached $31.8 billion, exceeding Intel's and AMD's combined revenue by $8.9 billion. Since Q1 2023, NVIDIA's profit has skyrocketed 2,170%, while revenue jumped 700%. By comparison, Intel sales rose 7% and AMD sales increased 70% during the same period. The scale of NVIDIA's growth is unprecedented. Breaking, President Trump concludes his meeting with, get this, Zoran Mamdani, and says he thinks Mamdani will surprise some conservative people. Trump says he is going to be helping Mamdani, and the better he does, the happier I am. That's how it should be. That right there is how it should be. Regardless of how people feel about each other, what rumors are spread, what names and labels are pinned on everybody, we should all be cooperating. I just want to know, okay, that's Ronald Reagan. I thought that was George Bush Jr., and I was going to die laughing. That would be so freaking funny. Can we get just George Bush busts, a George Bush statue, and a George... If I ever become president, everything's going to be George Bush, and I'm not going to ever tell anybody why. They're going to be like, did he inspire? I'm going to be like, that's just what's on the walls, and those are the busts that we have. And everyone's always going to want to know why so bad, and I'm never going to tell them. And then eventually, probably like 3 years into my first term, Someone's going to find this video and they're going to be like, this is why it's just a stupid meme. And then I'm going to be impeached for just memeing the White House. They're going to be like, you're a disgrace to the Oval Office. Tishu said, as long as they don't start playing with people's Bitcoin like Celsius did, everything is going to be fine. Right. Okay, so this is what's crazy. When I moved out of Voyager, I was genuinely considering building a long-term portfolio. Instead of trading, I was like, I'm just going to treat it like a savings account now. I was going to build a long-term portfolio with BlockFi. And the alternative to that I was looking at was Celsius. What kind of gave Celsius away for me was Alex Mashinsky's constant rhetoric of not your keys, not your coins. That was his BitConnect speech. And I was like, this guy's like, that's like your girlfriend always talking about cheating. How much she hates cheaters, and cheating is a disgrace, and she hates cheating in general. And then you find out that she's cheating on you. You're like, oh, I mean, I guess I should have seen this coming. That's literally all she talks about. You know what I mean? Alex Mashinsky's always like, he's like, people steal money and all this stuff. And then he ends up stealing everyone's money. And everyone's like, whoa, damn. Oh, shoot. The guy that always talks about stealing people's money stole her money. Okay. S&P 500 ends the day 1% higher and officially closes its most volatile week since April 2025. What a wild ride. Thank you all for following along. Let's frickin' go. Update. Prosecutors say no promises were made to drop charges against Michelle Bond, despite Ryan Salami's plea. I don't know who Ryan Salami or Michelle Bond are, but if they're affiliated with FTX, then screw them. Throw them in prison. SoftBank's backed, this cracked me up, PayPay is integrating with Binance Japan, letting users buy and withdraw crypto using PayPay money. Do you get it? I actually really like it. It's like the greatest off-brand PayPal, just PayPay. But the name and the fact that they're integrating with Japan, I was dying laughing, dude. Binance CEO Richard Tang says Bitcoin's volatility isn't unusual. Bitcoin's annualized volatility sits above 50%, and several tech stocks remain even more volatile than Bitcoin. That's pretty accurate, actually. Bullish Fed President John Williams, not the same John Williams that made the music for Star Wars, Harry Potter, and like pretty much your entire childhood. Home Alone. Not that John Williams. Different John Williams. Says there's still room for a near-term rate cut as inflation risks ease and the labor market cools. Thank you, John Williams. Just in, Bitcoin realized losses just spiked to levels last seen during the FTX collapse, per Glassnode. We literally have not seen levels of realized losses this high since FTX collapsed. That is insane. Bitmain, which controls over 80% of the Bitcoin ASIC market, is under U.S. investigation for potential national security risks tied to its mining hardware, which means they probably looked into the hardware and saw some stuff that they didn't like, which I've always thought of. The ASIC mining market is the one weak link in proof of work, in my opinion, because how many people within mining get those and then dissect them to make sure that, let's say, Bitmine isn't they don't have some kind of hardware in there that gives them a backdoor that allows them to trickle out, funnel out just a little small portion of what's being mined. Because then if they sell 1 million ASIC miners and they're earning $1 per $100 mined, every time $100 is mined per machine, they're making a couple $1 million or $1 million. You know what I mean? Or they could just flip a switch and control all of Bitcoin. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said Coinbase does not involve rehypothecation. They don't relend your Bitcoin, which is part of Coinbase's regulatory stance. Interesting. I like that. If Bitcoin price drops, your position can be liquidated. If Bitcoin price rises, your collateral stays the same. You don't gain access unless you repay the loan. Tisha said, I agree, Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn, but could be a bad apple on the inside, make some chaos? I hope not. Oh, probably not, but yeah. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, oh, totally nothing is 100% safe. Yeah. Yep. I mean, look at what happened with FTX. Update. If this is a bear market, someone forgot to tell the institutions. Republic added 100 million in ETH financing, and Kraken pulled in 800 million at a $20 billion valuation, even as Bitcoin fell under 85K. Let's go. I'm starting to like Kraken more and more. I think the biggest, the open the floodgates moment that really made me love Kraken was when they gave Kit Boga a fake platform to like reverse scam the scam callers, and he pretty much uses it to make them think that some old lady fumbled their chance of stealing $1 million worth of Bitcoin from her. It cracks me up, dude. Those videos are so good. Update. Traders now see a 60% probability that the Fed delivers a 25 basis point cut at the December Fed meeting, per Calci. KuCoin Pay has integrated with Brazil's Pix network, letting users convert crypto to reais, and pay any Pix-enabled merchant via QR code. That I thought was pretty cool. Cheers, guys. Again, happy Saturday. Don't forget to smash the like button. Appreciate you guys for being here. Bitmine says it will start staking its Ethereum via the Made in America validator network from early 2026. Can it turn its underwater ETH treasury into a yield-generating asset? Yes, but unfortunately, it's not so liquid, so when they do unstake it, they're going to have to unstake it months in advance. Alert. Bitcoin's fastest bear market has erased 33% of crypto market cap and driven record fund outflows, yet a falling NFCI liquidity gauge has historically preceded Bitcoin rallies by 46 weeks. Let's go. We got Psychedelic posting, I have never seen this. The liquidation heat map has never been this skewed. They have quite literally destroyed 99% of investors that were long in any way, shape, or form, leverage traders, or holders. This is a wipeout to a level that has never been witnessed before. Right now, there is 400 million long liquidations, 12 billion short liquidations, and that is only up to 103K. So if Bitcoin goes up to 103,000, $12 billion in shorts will be liquidated. There is 30 times that amount of shorts than longs. Holy effing shit. This is insane. That is pretty sick, actually. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, look at that. That is crazy. Okay. Then we've got TechDev posting, top line is where the liquidity fuel has cyclically exhausted. It ends the red zone. All multi-year tops have printed here. Bottom line is where the liquidity fuel has cyclically ignited. It begins the red zone. All multi-year parabolic moves have started here. Bitcoin doesn't care about the calendar. It cares about liquidity. Where are we? Well, it looks like we're at the bottom line. Isn't that interesting? It's kind of interesting to me. And it looks like every time we hit that bottom line and reverse, we get a parabolic move. I'm just saying. Then we've got, this is a good one. 6 months ago, Raoul Pal said we are in an elongated business debt cycle and that Bitcoin would climb higher, and then we would see a minus 35% drawdown and everyone will be sure that it is over, and it won't be over. You need to watch this again. So if you guys want to go watch it, the Bitcoin Therapist posted it 12 hours ago. Go check it out. Probably a good video. And last but not least, we got Alt Season 2025 starts November 22nd. The same shakeout pattern as in 2017, and soon low caps will go parabolic. Today is your best chance to become a millionaire while everyone else is afraid. And then he wants you to look at his list, but I liked his chart. Bitcoin versus altcoins 2017 to 2018. You got a little banana, an accumulation, and an explosion. 25 to 26, a low banana, accumulation, and then look at that. Probably an explosion, not financial advice. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin looking good, 85,180. Don't forget to smash the like. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn, yep, we're caught up on the chat. 1K to 10K Grok portfolio updates. We are currently down $484, which is 48.4%. There are 0 assets in the green. Starting from the bottom, fetch is down 61. Is that right? Yes. Aptos is down 61 as well. Property's down 60. Render's down 54, Ondo's down 53, SHIB is down 50, 8 is down 47, Doge is down 42, Near is down 38, and Sol is down 23. Then the meme coin portfolio, currently down 589, 58.9%. None of these are green either. GigaChad is down 158, Snek is down 138, Pepe is down 113, WIF is down 101, and Doge is down 80. Then the narrative portfolio, my favorite and the most stable actually, currently down 186, which is 37%. 186, hold on. 37.2% in the negative, which I believe is our best performer so far. It's not down as bad as everything else. We have 0 assets in profit here. Finally, Tau is negative. It took a long time though. Starting from the bottom, VeChain is down. What is VeChain down? 53. Fetch is down 50. Pepe is down 41. Mana is down 41, and Tau is down 4. Let's see. Gourmet Brands and Brooklyn said Kraken is going public mid-2026. Not sure if you saw. I did see that. It's under SEC review. 15 billion last valuation. Yeah, that's exciting. Private equity is offering their stock at around 60 a share right now. I'll probably buy some when they go live. Tisha said SHIB has been ass. You think they will be back or going to 0? If we're going into a bear market, anything that did not perform well, probably going to 0. Meme coins are going to be a weird one though. People are always going to gamble on meme coins, I'm convinced. Mr. Roberts said, I didn't quite buy into Raul's thesis in 2024 because I figured quantitative easing was too far in the future for an up only from then. But with quantitative easing so close now, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe. I mean, I like it. It fits the narrative, and I can use it for copium, so I love it. And last but not least, the perfect entry portfolio, which is currently down 430, which is 43%. Wow. 43%. This one's the second best. The only better one is the narrative portfolio, which is down 37.2. Oh, I gotta turn my vibrate on. I just realized I had my stupid ringtone on. Okay. Perfect entry portfolio, starting from the bottom. None of these are in profit either. Avalanche is down 62. Render is down 58. Sui is down 55. Pith is down 52. Ondo is down 48. Graph is down 46. Crow is down 36. ETH is down 29. Sol is down 29. And Link is down 20. Mr. Roberts, yep, I read that. Tishu said there was no second best. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that we are finished. Kind of sad nobody won the daily close contest, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? Oh, shoot. John Tujo is here. We got to see if he donated $10 to a local animal shelter. All right, folks. I suppose I'm going to call it an evening. We're just under 2 hours. I'm losing my voice. I've been losing my voice every day. I'm assuming it's because the cold weather's setting in. I've been working outside, and then I come home and I talk for 2 hours. So I got to get used to it, because if we're going to do a 12-hour live stream, I can't lose my voice after 2 of those 12 hours, you know what I mean? Anyways, folks, let's do a movie of the day recommendation. I'm going to recommend movie or show. I could do a show. John said I'm waiting for crypto to go up, then I'm subscribing. Oh, you don't, I mean, if you want to just do the animal shelter, you can. And you can do it at any time. Just promise me before Christmas. $10 animal shelter before Christmas. Or I'm going to send you an extra long cheese coney. That too. I do like an extra long cheese coney. Let's see. Movie or show recommendation. I'm going to go with show. I think it's on Netflix right now. It's Alan Tudyk. Really funny. It's very weird. It seems weird. Just give it a chance. Watch the pilot. It is called Resident Alien. If you haven't seen it, it is hilarious. Great show. Super weird premise. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be stupid, but I love all of the actors in it. So I was like, I got to give this a chance. You know, these are all like great actors. So I turned it on and I fell in love with it. It takes place in like a cozy, I think, Colorado mountain town or whatever. It's such a good show. So I'm excited for the next season. But anyways, guys, this is where I'm gonna call it an evening. Happy Friday, as always. If Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for being here. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Friday and good night.